All right, this is podcast episode number 6, the Conflikt 47 factual review of Empires of Japan.
I will also talk like this.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Dice Hosers podcast, the show where we talk bolt-action Conflikt 47 and occasionally make questionable life choices involving dice and resin. Today we're diving into one of the most flavorful and frankly terrifying factions of the Conflikt 47, the Empire of Japan. If you like aggressive play, fanatical troops, weird science that borders on horror, and an army that absolutely refuses to die quietly, this is the one for you. The Big Picture.
Don't read the title.
Now you gotta edit that out. If you played Japan in bolt action, the good news is the soul of the army is still here. Japan in Conflikt 47 is all about pressure, momentum, and close-range brutality. You're not here to trade shots across the table. You're here to get stuck in, overwhelm objectives, force your opponents into with too many problems at once. So the key themes from this faction are fanatic infantry, which is a carryover from bolt action. Infantry that does not break. Strong assault force, assault-focused weird war units. Less emphasis on heavy armor, more on monsters, walkers, and elite shock troops. Less monsters and more elite shock troops. And punishing mistakes from your opponent, especially if you get close. So, getting on to the national rules that translate extremely well into K47. Fanatics everywhere. Craig, why don't you bring us through this?
I'll use my normal voice because it's going to sound so lame next to that.
I feel the urge to cough listening to that. It's like
I wanted to play a record next. Up next, Led Zeppelin, number 37 in the top chart.
This is the Love Doctor from WKRP in Cincinnati.
In a world with Japanese.
So we have 4 rules. The first one is death before dishonor. So all of Empire of Japan infantry and artillery units have the fanatic special rules. So you automatically pass morale checks for being assaulted by enemy vehicles, and they may re-roll failed order tests when attempted to assault. So pretty nasty. Guys not going anywhere. It's so frustrating fighting fanatical armies because you have to wipe that unit out, or at least add to the last man. Then we've got from nowhere, Empire of Japan infantry units on ambush may ambush charge enemies that move within 12 inches rather than 6, which is nuts. And it's still a surprise charge. So basically be careful when you're moving your infantry close to those ambushes.
And if I recall correctly, surprise charge does not need LOS like an ambush or like a charge, regular charge does.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Correct, because you pulled that on me. It doesn't need line of sight.
It doesn't need line of sight, so that's 12 inches around corners of the buildings, through buildings, or whatever you need to do. That is a huge bubble, especially if you got fieldcraft to go through rough terrain.
Yep.
Not obstacles, which I figured out.
Yeah, not buildings. You have to run around buildings. Shadow, if deemed to be cover from enemy shooting, Empire of Japan units on ambush improve their cover save by +1. Can we make it any harder to kill the chaps?
Yeah,
and then
make
finally,
to kill plus ambush.
Secrets of Iwo Jima. Empire of Japan Rift units attempting an outflanking maneuver may be ordered onto the table from turn 2 onwards rather than turn 3 onwards, entering the table from any point on the owning player's deployment zone edge on the left or right of the table. Furthermore, because it's not a Japanese Rift units attempting an outflanking maneuver, do not suffer the -1 modifier to the order test for moving onto the table from reserve.
You still have to mark which side of the table you're coming in on from, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 pretty good national rules, I think, or a good combination. Unlike last episode with the Commonwealth, where there really wasn't that much combination of national rules. The Japanese have got 4 pretty good ones.
Yeah, they're definitely 4 strong ones.
Yeah. So let's say Japs. I say Japs. I don't know. I've listened to so many podcasts with veterans on that they just call them Japs. So the Japanese. So you got to wipe them out to man because of the fanatics. So if they get on an objective, it is very, very difficult to remove them. The Japanese don't have to worry about morale, really. They just ignore it. So again, something that they can just grab that objective, hunker down, stay in ambush, and wait for you to get close or to absorb all that fire. And the Japanese are with their units, are very aggressive in their movement styles. So the fact that they can shadow dance, or whatever that rule is, around the board, they can move pretty quickly, could lay out a lot of fire. You've got to basically, with the Japanese, in my opinion, you've got to go on the attack, be aggressive with them, grab them by the throat, hold them down, and basically attrit them so that you're able to retake those objectives. So that is the national rules.
You're not shooting everywhere. You're picking one unit, and that's the unit you're shooting this turn.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to wipe them out. You can't, because the pins still make a difference when it comes to order checks, but for morale, it does nothing, right? So you really need to get in there and wipe them out. That's why flamethrowers are good against them. Yeah. Lots of gribbly monsters.
Monsters that hit hard, because horror they don't care about.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you're a Japanese player, right, Derek? So you're probably our go-to on this.
I am liking the Japanese. The more I make the list, the more I look at the rules. Every time I look at the rules or I look at a list, something new pops out at me that I can see that we can use as a Japanese player to make a list. When I first started making lists, I thought it was very one-dimensional, but the more I look at it, it's not quite one-dimensional. I don't think it is as varied as the Axis are, but I think they've got multiple ways to do the same thing and different ways to do things, like going after walkers. My response for walkers are what we're going to talk about next is rifle squads. Everybody else is thinking small rifle squads, veteran to put on an objective, whether it's the Axis or the Americans, maybe the only humans in a Commonwealth list, Soviets. But for the Japanese, I want a max inexperienced unit with an officer that has a weapon. And they will take down any walker on the table. Because the unit gets to be the size of 13. The walker gets to attack first. Generally, they got between 2 and 4 attacks, so they're going to take 2 or 4 guys away. So let's call it 4. Your 13 man now is down to 9. You've moved. Maybe I need 6s. Maybe I need 4, 5, 6s. In my favor, I need 4, 5, 6s. Of those 9, say I get 6 hits. Because the officer's got a +1 combat weapon, I'm not doing superficial damage.
And it's a sword.
And it's a sword, because you gotta.
That's important.
Jam up there, and everybody's got a hand on that sword, lancing it in. Suddenly, if you get 6 or 5 of those 9 guys hit, we'll call it 5. You've now got the sword, which is +1, plus the 5. You're now hitting a D6 +6. Every walker is
R.I.P. my Hirsch
Yeah.
Walker against that unit. Exactly that happened.
Yeah, it was. I came around the corner. I'm like, yeah, walkers get to hit first. Go ahead. I don't care if I lose. They're inexperienced. You want me to just take off the max? I'll take off the max. I don't care. That one job, because that inexperienced unit with the NCO is looking at, and they're fanatics, so they're making that assault because they don't have to roll the assault for the morale as per the national rule. They automatically pass. They're going in, right? Like, and a walker is generally 200 to 300 points. My unit is costing me just over 70. Like, if you see a
Wow.
Japanese inexperienced unit on the board, do not put your walker within 12 inches of it or any armored vehicle, because then now, if they didn't have that +1 sword, they would only do superficial damage, because you need a pen +1 weapon to get off the superficial damage table when you're attacking an armored vehicle. Every unit, that sword is 5 points, which is the cost of a man.
2 points.
2 points, which is less than the cost of an inexperienced man. Make them
You're
shirkers.
talking about that combat blade thing.
Yeah,
that's
the combat blade.
2 points.
You can even make the unit cheaper by making them shirkers. So every pin is 2 pins. I don't care. They're going to be running around corners and buildings, and if you're going to be shooting at them, then my other main units are getting into what they need to get into.
Well, it depends on what you're shooting, because a lot of your units are 6+, right? But somebody last month had said, why do you need MMGs anymore? Well, there's a unit you'll want to put your MMGs in.
into, definitely.
Yeah.
That would be the only
Sure.
reason making any list in any other army that I would play in MMGs, and that's if I knew there was a plethora, not just one or two, a plethora of Japanese players. Because you know they're going to come onto the board with 2 or 3 units, because I won't make a list now that doesn't have 2 or 3 units of inexperienced, full man rifle squads, maybe even making them shirkers to save myself an extra point or 2 per man, because I think that brings them down to 5 points a man. So
Yeah.
their rifle squads are assault squads. Now, they're not going to go into werewolves because they only got one guy that can do damage. That's not going to happen. They're vehicle hunters.
I'm pretty sure the werewolf is going to come to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then if
the
the werewolf is
werewolf-
going to my 60, if the 120 points of werewolves are going to my 60 point unit, their
That's
points
just
are
because
paid.
they're screening for the walker. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, but that leaves my other more important elite troops to go after bigger, better things that I have a trouble with.
Yeah, the one thing the Japanese don't have that a lot of I think the Americans do, but certainly the Germans and British do, is 7+ armor on infantry.
Yeah, they don't have any.
They don't have that heavy infantry.
No, 6+ is their highest. That's the battle armor suits. So
The other thing you could do is add a Kempetai officer as well.
yeah.
So you get to re-roll the unit's orders, and if it's got the green special rule, you get to re-roll the D6 as well.
And green is a free rule for inexperienced troops.
Yeah,
So-
it just comes with it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're gonna have that. So
You could get inexperienced Kempetai for 21 points.
Kempete.
Kempetai. And you
Kempete.
could give them a sword for 2 points if you wanted to give him a cool sword.
I don't think he needs a sword, just because the same effect isn't going to work with him. I mean, maybe
No, no.
like
A
you're looking
Japanese
for the
officer without
stacking of
swords.
the because the way the rules work when you're attacking vehicles is every hit becomes a +1, right? So
Yeah. No, okay. A Japanese officer must always have a sword.
yes,
So that should be a rule.
yeah,
It
that
should be.
It should
Yeah.
just be
Right.
an inexperienced Japanese officer automatically costs 23 points, not 21, because you have a sword.
Yeah.
And if you're making zombies, a couple of them should be Japanese guys with swords.
Yeah.
The rifles on the Japanese have that Shibaru, right? That one.
That's a different rifle squad, because they have
Yeah.
to be regular or veteran, but they are armed with the Shibutu. Is that what it's called? I'm blanking
Shibaru.
on- Shibaru. Yeah, Shibaru rifles, which is a limitation in the Japanese army, I think, but we'll get to that when we talk about the other stuff. Yeah, I'll let you carry on, Craig.
I was going to say the Shibaru have crush weapons as well.
Yeah, it's a crush. So unlike everybody else's Rift Tech, the Japanese don't ignore cover when shooting at somebody.
Yeah.
Tesla, Shockwave, and Galvik all ignore cover. The crush from the Japanese does not ignore cover.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is because they love cover, that army. They're always going to be in it. You figure they'd figure out how to shoot it.
And don't forget the FAQ change that they made to that rifle as well.
That's how I played it the whole time.
Yeah,
What was the change, Evan?
If you exhaust the Rift dice to generate the crush effect, each weapon's crush effect is treated individually.
Yeah.
Against infantry and artillery, this means you roll that any dice roll to hit automatically adds one additional hit to the total.
So, Derek, can you explain that? Because you were doing this originally correctly anyway.
Yeah, it just made sense to me. So I was playing it that way, and it turned out that was when I saw the FAQ, I was kind of worried. I was like, oh, I did play it wrong, but it turns out I wasn't. So with the crush weapons, every time you make a hit with a weapon, if you hit all the shots that it has, so the Shibaru rifles in a rifle squad have 1. So if you exhaust your dice, every time you make a hit, it becomes 2 hits. But that's per rifle. So if I'm shooting at vehicles, generally if you're shooting at vehicles, all the hits stack. Not with the Japanese Shibaru rifles. So if I have 6 guys and 6 guys hit the tank, the walker, it is 6 guys shooting 6 shots becomes 6 how do I say this without making it any more confusing? The 6 hits become 6 double hits. So instead of 6 plus 1 hits, you get 6 plus 2 hits. Some people were playing, well, I hit once and all these other ones hit, so that's plus 1 plus these 11 hits, that's 1 plus 12 hit. But that's not how it works. So if you're shooting at a walker that's 8+, you're shooting with a weapon that has a D6 plus 1 pen. You hit twice, that's plus 2 pen. You can actually damage on the superficial table because you're only ever going to match the damage because you're going to roll a 6. But you're going to roll, of those 6 guys, you're going to roll 6 shots, and you're fishing for the 6s because each 6 is going to get your roll on that superficial because each 6 will be added to 2. So it'll be D6 plus 2, 6 times for those 6 shots, assuming that all 6 shot hit. So you have 8 chances to get on that superficial table.
So basically,
you can get on that superficial tip. If you roll Yahtzee and get all 6 6s, that's 6 rolls on the superficial table.
Yeah, so the 2 hits, so it basically counts as plus 2 pen.
Yes.
So you roll
against vehicles.
Against
vehicles.
Yeah, so like how Derek was wiping out my squads, and he almost wiped out a Totenkorb squad, was because of the shooting that it doubles the number of hits. So
I had a 10-man squad.
10-man squad, let's say 6 of them hit, that means I actually get 12 hits against me.
Yeah. So then but because they're Totenkorb, I had to roll 6s, and you're not going to get that many 6s.
Yeah. And then I got a surging rift dice and brought them all back.
Yes. Life was not a good place. I hate zombies. I hate zombies.
I know. When I fought Derek with my zombies, I had 2 units of zombies, 2 Totenkorb groups, and they were full strength by the end of the game.
Yeah.
They were just wandering around eating gribblies and stuff. Yeah. So
I assaulted the Scorpion tank thing with my Totenkorps.
Ate it.
Like, okay, cool. Like, so what? Like, I lose most of them. Yeah, whatever.
And that'll probably be the last time you see me with a walker on the field too.
What's the difference between a battle frame armored infantry squad and an assault frame armored infantry squad?
Armament. So your battle frame is, your assault frame is your guys you want to get a hand to hand. Everybody in that unit's going to have a combat blade, which gives them +1 to assault, and they all have deadly 2, so they're getting 2 swings. They also have Shabiro rifles, whereas the battle frame, I'm just pulling it up here,
Battle frame only gets SMGs.
and only the officer gets.
You can have 1 crush weapon, yeah. So the
Yeah.
+1 pen, whereas on the assault frame, everyone gets +1 pen in close quarters.
And only the officer gets the combat blade.
Yeah.
Now, if this is the assault frame, also gets the ability to take a Panzerschreck, so they can have a Panzerschreck in their army or in their unit. They can also change their SMGs to be LMGs, where the assault frames don't. Their upgrade is going from SMGs to Shibiros, like to going to the crush weapons.
Big asterisk at that point. So for the listeners out there, the battle frame armored infantry squad, if you are going to take replacing a SMG with a Panzerschreck, the Warlord are obviously going to update it in the next FAQ. Yeah. It isn't +66 points per Panzerschreck.
No, it was supposed to be 60, wasn't it?
It's supposed to be 6 points.
6 points. For a Panzerschreck? Oh, okay. But the drawback is you only get 1, and then you replace them with Urakumi anti-tank launchers, which is the equivalent to everybody else, the Commonwealth's Priams, the Americans' RPGs for the Russians as well, I think. So that, in my mind, just because they can't get out of the SMGs and into the Shabiro rifles, unless you're saving points, I would rather run assault. They're a little bit more, but they cover both situations. You can have shooting, and you can have the melee fighting as well if you need it. Because battle frame also does not get deadly, so they don't have deadly 2, so they don't get 2 swings in combat. Although they do get tough fighter because of the SMGs. But they don't have the
that's my question. Do they have deadly 2 plus the SMG? Does that give them 4 attacks?
3.
It gives them 3.
Yeah, but almost every list that I run the assault frames, I'm putting the Shabiro rifles on it, so I go back down to 2.
Oh, okay.
But I could keep, if I wanted to save the points, you could drop the Shabiro rifles, do the assault frame with the SMGs. They're all deadly 2, plus tough fighter gives them 3 attacks. Plus they're getting the combat blade, which is +1, so they're automatically into the ability to kill things. Whereas the battle frame are made for shooting.
Wouldn't it be 2 attacks in close combat? You're deadly 2.
Deadly 2, and then tough fighter gives you another one. Apparently they stack.
Okay.
Yeah, they're different healers.
I forgot that they had tough fighter. Yeah.
You would get the extra attack anyway because you've got a combat blade, right? So that would give you
4 then.
No. The combat blade is +1 penetration at close quarters.
No, yeah. But so in the rules under deadly, it states if you also have an assault weapon, you get +1 attack. That's why the Soviet bears have more attacks than because they've got a maul, right? Versus a werewolf that just has claws.
Yeah, but the combat blade is not an assault weapon. It doesn't have assault. The SMG, you get deadly 2.
Deadly 2, and the SMG, you'll have 3 attacks.
Gives you tough fighter, which is your
so you'd have to choose which you use in there.
Apparently you don't. Apparently you don't. Your SMG in one hand, and you get all of them.
What?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I was looking at a couple of videos. Mordenyan Glory was one of them, and he specifically mentioned that. And then a couple other places I was looking, and apparently
Yeah,
they do stack,
you read the rules.
even though
So
they're different
under
weapons.
deadly, like the third paragraph down, it says deadly units can also benefit from the rule of being equipped with assault weapons to gain an additional die.
Yeah.
For example, a model with deadly 2 armed with an SMG would roll 3 dice to damage in close combat.
But
In
that's where
close
the
quarters
interesting
combat.
thing happens. That gives you your 3 attack, but you still get your +1 pen from the combat blade. Which doesn't give you a 4th attack, but gives you that +1 pen on the previous 3 attacks.
I'm just thinking if you had 10 of these guys, it's an expensive unit, but
Yeah.
that's 30 attacks.
Hold
+1.
on. It's deadly.
Deadly.
It's a
Yes.
drum roll here.
That would be a pretty nasty unit.
Yeah.
You're not going to get into combat with that thing because you'd be dead if you did.
And which is why you want to put the Shibiro rifles on them so that they can reach out and touch. Whereas the SMG, if you're in ambush and you can assault 12 inches, why have SMGs? You don't want to shoot, you want to get in a fight. So
I don't know. I like the idea of sticking them in a truck, a circus truck,
Yeah,
just driving right to the enemy and jumping out. Right? They're like, and now what are you going to do, Mr. Bear? I'm going to eat you for breakfast.
But unlike your Axis power armor, these are only 6+, so they do get pins when they come out of that truck if you were shooting the truck.
That is true, but yes, that's
no, but
true.
you got the
So
fanatics, you're going to get the assault off anyway, so.
Yeah. So you just got to pass your order test.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. Okay, fair enough. And then what else we got?
Derek's favorite unit, which I hate, but
the
kind of want one. Ghost Attack Squad.
Yes.
The Ghost Attack Squad. Is that they should have called that something in Japanese? That would have been so cool.
Yeah, the spirit dance is Bon Adori. I think that's how you spell it or say it without the attempted Japanese accent. I apologize.
For
you also
Bon Adori sounds like something out of Sean's Italians.
Yeah. So
Bonadori.
here's something interesting with this. So I'm going to read this to you in its entirety so you can, and I'm going to stumble because I'm reading. After executing an advance, run, or fire order, a Ghost Attack Squad may exhaust one of its rift dice. It has 2, one for being a rift unit, one for having Shibori rifles. So it may exhaust one of its rift dice to remove itself from the battlefield, retaining its order die, rift dice, and any pin markers. If it does so, it must make a morale check. If the morale check is failed, the unit is destroyed. This is a veteran unit. This chances are it's not going to happen, which is also why you want Kempetai and a higher officer, so you got a big bubble of making a morale check. If the morale check is passed, then the Ghost Squad may set up again anywhere on the table that is at least 12 inches from any enemy unit and 6 inches from any objective, including intelligent markers, enemy bases, etc. A Ghost Attack Squad may use this enhancement whilst locked in close quarters combat. If I'm in ambush and you come around the corner, whether you're charging me or shooting me, I flip that ambush dice to fire. I shoot my dice. I pick my unit up. I put them somewhere else on the board. You don't get to shoot. You don't get to assault. You don't get nothing.
Wow.
As soon as they're given after executing an advance, run, or fire order, and this has been confirmed, when you switch from ambush to fire, that's a fire order. You immediately pick up the unit and put them down somewhere else. This unit is hard to hit and hard to pin down. They have 2 active rift dice.
They're like ghosts.
They are like ghosts.
And so just the one caveat to what you said, I don't believe the Kempetai, etc. Helps the morale.
I thought officers help morale.
No, because you remove the unit then you do the morale check. So
Okay.
technically, they're not on the
okay.
table. They've
Ooh,
teleported
It
out.
does make
They're in the
morale-
ether. Then you
That's-
morale
remove
checking,
itself from
and
the
then they're
battlefield.
coming back.
Yeah. I can see with the reading that you're now outside of the bubble. So,
Correct.
but again, they're veterans.
It's all
They've only been
Again,
doing
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
If you're foobar in this, you deserve to die. But this is a very expensive unit, so it's not like you want to be pushing your luck on this all the time. But that is a way to
Okay.
keep this unit alive.
So the Japanese for Ghost Attack Squad is Yuri Kogeki Tei. I can see why they called it Ghost Squad, but I still think that in Japanese it sounds better. Yuri Kogeki Tei. I'm really into my Ghost of Unity and
the other nice thing about this unit
It shows.
the other nice thing about this unit is it is hard to kill. They have fieldcraft, so they can charge through rough terrain. If they are on ambush, they have hard to kill, so they are +2. In cover with the ambush, they're +3, so even soft cover gives them a 2+ save. They are also horror and infiltrators, so you can put them out in the middle of the field. They all have only the NCO can have a combat blade, so they're not too great in hand-to-hand, even though they can have, with a surging dice, have deadly too. You really don't want them in hand-to-hand, which, like I said, you just leave them on ambush, and when somebody decides to charge you, you shoot and you fade into the woodwork. They can have engineers, which I think is a good idea if you decide you want to charge buildings or whatnot. It's only 1 point, so you remove the defensive from somebody if you're shooting at them or if you're charging them. Exhausted, they lose fast and fieldcraft. They are also fast, which means they move 8 and run 16.
Warlord Games, if you ever do listen to this, a question for you. If they were engineers, can you, like the teleport version, can you choose which floor you come in on if it's a multi-floor building?
Why wouldn't you? You get to put them back on, may set up again anywhere on the table that is at least 12 inches from any unit.
Yeah, but if you're an engineer, you can assault the buildings.
Yeah.
Even if there's a unit in the building.
I see.
Whereas normally you wouldn't be able to be within 12 inches of the building. But could I teleport in? You're on ground floor. Could I teleport in on the first floor and assault downwards?
Next
No.
turn. Oh, you can't
Within
assault the
12
same
inch-
turn you teleport because you're within 12
No,
inches.
I mean next turn. But that's what I'm saying. The engineer clarification around it.
No, but you're still
But
within
you still have the 12-inch bubble you have to stay away from.
Yeah. 12-inch bubble
I
would
suppose.
negate the table or the floor level.
I like the idea of them if it was a 3-story building, that they have to be 2 floors away. So that they can't, that's comparable to 12-inch charge kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they should.
Almost every list.
I think that'd be a great unit because the models, especially that special edition model where he's walking through a wall.
Yes.
I just wish not to make them really good because they're already really good and maybe they'd have to lose something. But I like the idea that they should be able to walk through walls. That to me is better than teleporting somewhere else.
Yeah.
I like the idea that they could just assault through a wall and they don't care and they get to go first because your opponent's like, whoa.
Yeah, you don't buy engineer, you don't buy fieldcraft, you have move through obstacles. Period.
Yeah, you just like
Yeah.
that'd be it. So
treat all terrain and any conditions on the board as if it was
Oh,
open field.
but because the miniature reflects that,
Yeah.
right? Like if you look at they're all walking through walls and stuff, but the rule doesn't say they walk through walls. It makes it seem like they just zip up, teleport. It's more like a teleport, right?
But I think
it's more
that's
like
why they
teleport.
have hard to kill. Is because they're half phasing, half unphasing, so that when you do shoot them, the bullets didn't get there on time, even though you aimed properly. They were phasing at the time, and the bullet just goes through them. I think that's the justification for hard
that
kill.
to me makes that to me makes sense. I just don't
Yeah.
think the teleport one rule makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit with miniatures or some of the miniatures. I just
Yeah.
think that it would have been better to be they just walk through any obstacles. They just don't care. Like,
I would rather lose the teleport and gain like 7+ or 8+ with hard to kill. You know, because you're shooting ghosts.
yeah.
But they are 5+, so they do heavily rely on that hard to kill save because pretty much everything will hurt them.
Well, you just give them a 3+ invulnerable save.
Yeah, that would work instead of
Just
the 5+.
doing some modifiable. You're just like, I'm just always 3+ because I'm so hard.
Yeah, I'm super hard to kill.
Super hard to kill. Okay, what else do we got? What about walkers? Any good?
I'm liking walkers with the Japanese less and less, and that's mainly because of the Shiburo rifle or the Shiburo cannons. I think as a rifle, they are great. As a cannon on a walker or a tank, I think you're better with an AT gun if you can downplay it or downsize it to a gun. I just feel like they're a little overcosted for what you get. That being, we'll take the one that's in the box, the Sasori Lightwalker. Is that though? No, it's not the Sasori.
Sasori is the light walker.
Yeah, and the
It's got the
type,
Subaru
the Type
cannon.
7 Sasori. That's the
Yeah, Type 7 is the light walker.
and it's got it's the one that looks like a scorpion.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It is super cool, but I wish I could take the Type 61 light Shiburo cannon and drop it to a medium anti-tank. With the crush weapon rule the way it is, every hit has got to hit for it to double.
Yeah, that is a little tough.
So
but if it hits, it doubles.
Yeah. So you either get 1 shot or 4 shots. Because it's a 2-shot weapon. So if you only hit 1, you only hit 1. You hit 2, it suddenly becomes 4. I just. And then against another vehicle, when you're shooting that vehicle, if it's +1 and it's an 8, 9, or 10, and you only get 1 hit, you've kind of wasted your shot. You've wasted your activation. You get 2, and then you're hitting a 9 or an 8 or a 9, you got a chance to damage it. It just. Whereas if you just had a heavy AT gun or a medium AT gun, you're +4 right there.
Yeah, and if you don't move, you're +1 to hit.
Yeah,
with the AT gun where you're not.
With the Shiburo, because it's a Rift Tech weapon, you don't get the move. You don't get the I didn't move. I'm aiming at another vehicle +1 to hit.
Yeah.
So I think if you're taking walkers, you don't upgrade the Rift weapon. If they come with a Rift weapon, you downgrade the Rift weapon. The Type 7 is nice in that it has 4 legs. So
and Reki.
And it has 2 arms. So it gets the maximum amount of attacks that you can have as a walker.
And 2 MMGs. So you got some firepower.
Yeah, but they're not arm mounted. So you equivalent of 1 MMG anywhere else because they're rate of fire half.
Oh, right, yeah.
So and for 235 points with all those drawbacks, it's a great melee because it's got 6 attacks, but what are you killing that has 6? Like, you're not catching up to werewolves. You're not the Totem Corps don't care if they lose 6 guys. They're just going to beat your ass anyways. Like, walkers are in a rough place. Like, if you take look at any of the other and the walkers with the Japanese are much like the tanks in bolt action. They don't really have anything heavy. They still don't really have anything heavy. But like the Type 6 Kai Ki Hao Light Walker is an 8+. It's 145 points. It has a light anti-tank gun and 2 forward machine guns. It's it's 90 points less than the Type 7. And it's got 1 shot that's Pen 4. It gets +1 to hit.
I also think that
It also has
that
4 legs. No arms, but 4 legs. So it's got
Yeah,
2 less
if
melee
I was
attacks.
using the light walker to shoot at something like that, I think I would make the effort to get within point blank range.
Yeah.
Because hitting on 5s is going to suck. Point blank range will work.
For
And
the
then put the
I think
machine.
that the Type 7, I think they missed an opportunity for two perspectives on it. So if you read the rule entry, I think Derek, you and I discussed this in one game. The two things. So the first thing is the gun in the tail. They say it's forward facing.
Yes. That's
To
another
me,
drawback.
that's it
Should
should
be
be
360.
forward. Even if it's forward or rear, like you can flip it over, kind of idea, like a proper scorpion.
Like a proper scorpion, yeah.
Proper scorpion. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you read on the website, it says that the engineers developed the Walker a pair of front-mounted claws equally useful for cutting through dense undergrowth as they are swatting away enemy infantry or even other light vehicles. There should have been something with the claws, because there isn't. It just says it's got a left and a right arm.
Yeah, it's got the same +4 pen that any other walker with a hand does.
Yeah, so I think they missed those two things. They missed an opportunity to do something.
Especially for that price point.
Yeah.
I think at that price point, it should be. It just seems like, excuse me, it seems like all the walkers in the Japanese list are a little heavy on the pricing. They Inagu, which is basically the locust, is that the Axis jump one?
The Hushk, the locust, yeah.
Yeah, the Hirsch locust. It's the same one without jump downs. Like same, everything else it's the same all the way around, but the price is still $294 for a regular. I don't know if you guys, you can put light rocket launchers on your Hirsch, can't you? The locust,
and it's a veteran is only 222.
Yeah,
so it's cheaper in the Axis.
So and it gets jump.
Yeah,
in Axis it doesn't here. It just seems like I don't know if they missed the boat or if they're actively pushing the Japanese, much like in bolt action, you don't play with armor.
It's an infantry-based force, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where your strength is. Go with your strength.
Don't. Well, they are armored.
Yeah, and if you are going to buy the light, if you are going to buy the armor, you're going to pay for it.
Okay, so these light walkers are probably useful. They're fast. I think you can. I don't know, especially that cheap one, that 100 pointer.
Oh, the Key-Ho Type 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one I was just talking about.
95 points.
That's good.
2 forward-facing machine guns, 4 legs. So it's got 6 shots for 95 points. I'll just buy an MMG.
It's that was a 12-inch move.
No.
So really, one of a unit left. Just to touch on the Shibuto squad, the
Japanese
zombies,
version
Japanese
of the
zombies.
Totencorp. These are interesting because they're different from the Axis. These are only 5+. Axis are 6+. These with a surging bonus, they have the same active bring back D6. These with a surging bonus gain fast, as opposed to deadly 2, I believe, for the Axis.
No, the Axis has a penetrating 1.
Oh yeah, +1 pen or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they have the same exhausted penalty. Can't run, can't be given run orders.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're as good as the Totencorp are, but I think they're good for the Japanese because having a surging dice on them with a fast special rule means they can ambush 12 inches. Because just like all Japanese forces, if you're in ambush, you can ambush 12 inches, and they actually have the range to get there. Now, the unfortunate thing is they're tough fighters with no pen, neither of the Totenkorf unless they have a surging dice. Now, the drawback to this being the Japanese don't have Rift Mastery, so they can't get a second dice. They'll only ever have the one. So once you expend it to bring back D6, you're now not charging anybody at an ambush or anything like that. So I think for the and I think the point cost is the same at 19 points. I think for the Japanese, this is very much infiltrate, sit on an objective, put yourself in ambush, and be a scary threat that doesn't leave.
That doesn't die.
That doesn't die, but they're not. They die easier because they're 5+ versus 6+. But they have all the other same things. Because I believe the Totenkorf are also tough fighters, right? So they get 2 attacks.
Yeah, the only thing that's different is from the special rules part is the infiltrator.
Aren't they both infiltrator?
Yeah, Axis is.
Oh, sorry, not infiltrator. What my lumbering is my handwriting so bad. It's lumbering.
Yeah. The Axis are slower.
Yeah.
And
it's 21 points for a Totenkorf and 19 points for a Shibito.
So it is slightly cheaper. They were so close, I thought they were the same. So I think these have a place, but I don't think they're... If you're playing a lot of Access people, it's not going to play the same. It will play... It has to play differently. They're not as strong, they're not as dangerous, but they get out there faster. They form a bigger threat bubble, especially if they have a surging die on them, because... Oh, sorry, surging, they become fast, so they're 8/16. So they can normally... they're 4 inches faster all the way around than the Axis. So the nice thing about these guys is they can just sit in ambush with an active dice on them and charge and ambush out 12 inches. Or on an active turn, if you're actively giving them a charge order, they can charge 16 inches. So, like I said, they play a little differently than the Axis. I think they're more of a... I don't think they're as in your face as the Axis version is.
I would use it if I was going to play Japanese zombies. I would use them to, once you've got an objective, is to camp out on ambush near that objective.
Yeah.
Back in your back line kind of thing.
Either threatening to come back onto the objective, or... But with the way that a lot of people are playing sticky objectives now, I think you want to claim the objective and have these guys there as you go off to get another one.
Yeah.
I more than one Shibito, because the Shibitos are super cool that way. So they're really good for protecting what you already have.
Yeah.
Because the rest of your army is like they're moving around a lot.
Yeah.
So here you have something that's not going to move around a lot. The Shibito will shit and shibi.
Yeah. And they won't just out of hand die like a lot of the other stuff will when it gets shot at. Or it comes back anyways.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay. So I think that's most of the key units. So I'll come to you in a minute, Derek.
Okay. I just wanted to cover one more. When you're looking at bolt action units to bring in, because the walkers, and it could just be my disdain for the walkers, you might want to pay for a light walker just so you can get I want to say it's the Ho-Ra from bolt action, which is it's an open topped light vehicle with a heavy howitzer. So that is something I would buy a walker for, just to play that. I used it in bolt action when I played bolt action. When I play bolt action Japanese, you bring that vehicle. I think that is the one reason I would bring Ho-Ra. Yeah. Anyways, definitely bring that in. So.
Okay, cool. So I'll ask you in a minute, Derek, but Sean, where do the Japanese sit in the meta?
Well, what they have, which is nice to have, is something that can really reach out and touch something. So I think that you'll see these show up as a really effective force. The people who understand what they're playing with, maybe they've played something similar at another game with strike and fade or really good assassination type techniques. But the way these guys can reach out and really touch something, I think is going to, and they're really good at getting off the assaults. So I think these are going to be right up there. They have more of a learning curve because they're more fragile than a lot of the other standard factions. But I think these guys are going to be a little. You're going to see a little more of them, and people are going to grab. People who like playing this type of sneaky type of game are just going to eat this army up, and you're going to see them in your face.
Eldar players.
Yeah, right out of the gate.
Eldar and players.
Yeah, there's going to be 33% of all people you play are going to be no, but it's going to be there's going to be yeah. This is they're going to be up there. So this is something you have to expect and you have to deal with. So take the MMGs because you need the MMGs to fight the Japanese.
It's true, because you're still a fanatic. You're still affected by the pin, right?
Yeah.
For most of your units, only unless you've got
morale,
fearless.
For morale to leave, yeah.
Because just about everything they have is affected by an MMG.
Yeah. They don't have any 7+.
Okay, cool. Anything, Derek, to add?
I think Sean's got it. This is a don't stand in one place, very movement orientated, which makes it sometimes rough when you're playing objectives because you really want to move around the board and weaken your opponent before you grab the objectives. I mean, the Shibuto can help offset that, but they're pretty pricey.
Shibito
will Shibito, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, they may offset that, but there are a lot of points to be sinking in. You're not going to have like one. I'd have one or two at most.
Shibito. I think it's Shibito. Final answer. Shibito.
I think though that. Sorry, Derek. Just quick. I think though that if you're a Empire of Japan player, you must before each game go through a traditional Japanese tea ceremony with your opponent.
Okay, I'm definitely play Americans at the next.
Right, it's not even the cup. It's the little bowl thing where you have to turn it around with your left hand and
you can't
present it.
You have to take your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Asterisk for you, Derek. Next time you play me, you don't have to do the tea, but you bring me sushi. Everything's fine.
Sweep the leg.
This is my favorite faction. I have to admit. I
saw one guy on.
Go ahead.
One guy on Reddit. He did for his diorama, not diorama, display board. He did a building, so he had the vertical building, and he put magnets embedded in the building and under the legs of his Scorpion Walker. I can't remember the Type 7.
Yeah.
So it's on the building, like crawling along. Looked really impressive.
Yeah, so hobby and theme. I mean, I'll go first because I may be a little critical. I think it's got a phenomenal theme, and maybe it's my ignorance, but I don't think it has the range of themes that other armies have, because the theme is samurai, right? That's or samurai and shinobi and
Bushido,
Bushido and ninja, but you've got a which is a fantastic theme, but it would be a lot. It's not like you can necessarily, or you could, but it'd be a lot harder. But you couldn't really. It would be more difficult to do a Japanese theme in China, right, or a Japanese theme in the Aleutian Islands. So I think there are things you could do the Navy, or you could do Army, and you could probably play around with that. I think you could do a really good job of it, but I don't think
It's not the Commonwealth.
translates as well as other armies do to other regions, right? I may be wrong. I mean, that's my
Well,
my thing.
when you think of sneaky Japanese, you think ninja. You look at the Ghost Warrior squads, and I see, I think they're guys from Dune. Was it Dune? The big circle masks, and they're doing the math, and they're always clicking and whatnot. Like it just the aesthetic doesn't like. Yeah, they got the one special character walking through the wall, but the suit he's wearing doesn't say sneaky ghost. You know, like
That's because they're teleporting. They're not sneaking.
yeah, but he's walking through the wall. The special character is coming through the wall.
That's just the story told by an
Phasing.
unreliable narrator.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. When it comes to hobby and theme, I think and it may be a Western thing, what we see in the miniatures and what we think of from our knowledge of Japanese lore, and like I said, this may be a Western, we only see these style of movies for Japanese, that maybe that's the limitation. I'll be the first to admit I love Japanese armies. I have almost zero knowledge of Japanese folklore and whatnot, although my kids are trying to change that with watching
I'll
anime.
go now. So I think the theme is really good because it has samurais and it has ninjas. And I think that's a really good thing to have for the theme. I would suggest Kurosawa or Blue-Eyed Samurai, maybe, or The Last Samurai, or Last Samurai Standing, which just came out on Netflix.
Oh.
But there's a whole thing of paper walls and fine calligraphy and beautiful art and things like that you could lean into with this. But I think lean into the samurai and the ninjutsu theme is great. But you're right. When you look at the models, you almost seem like there's something more going on there. Like they've extended it to the next step. So you can have some fun with that. But I wouldn't be afraid to take this theme of samurais and ninjas and put them on a battleship or in the desert or something like that. I wouldn't, or even in the trenches. I'd be all right with that. But I think it's kind of exciting in that it's aesthetically different than all the other ones, and it's definitely unique, and it's its own thing. And you can and the beauty of the the culture and the imagery you can create is pretty good. I'm playing a game right now, the latest Ghosts of video game that from the last one. Yeah. And it's Tsushima was the first one. This one is Toei or something like that. I don't even know what it's called, but it's in feudal Japan. And just play that game before you play this army. It's like playing through episodes of Blue-Eyed Samurai, or I guess you could watch Blue-Eyed Samurai, and you'll get right into it.
And it's got to be narrated in the Japanese, the voice, because I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadow now, and I opted for it to be in Japanese because you can't watch anything in English subtitles. English dubbed. It's got to be the original Japanese for the aesthetic.
Everything else is like just barbarians barking. It has to be in the original Japanese.
That's right. Yeah.
There's one thing that there's probably the 3 viewers that we have are screaming at the mic that I forgot to mention with the ambush being a +1 cover save is we covered it, but we didn't cover this aspect of it. Infiltrators in cover that have an advance or run order also get +1 cover save.
Stacking different keywords.
Yes. So if you have a sniper in cover with ambush in heavy cover, he is a 3+ or 2+. I can't remember the infiltrator. The infiltrator and the ambush. Basically,
Infiltrator is 3.
yeah. Infiltrator gives you ambush, or gives you +1 cover on 2 dice, and then the ambush gives you +1. So your oh no, it's infiltrator get +1 cover as long as they don't have a run or advance dice. So it cover the they stack. So you can get a sniper in cover with ambush having basically hard to kill +2 save.
Nice.
So your snipers with a Shibito rifle are not only just are going to hit and then get a second hit pretty much automatically, but they also get +2 saves. So they're hard to remove from places.
Cool.
So
Okay.
that's saying this is one of the lists that I would definitely be running a sniper in all the time because of the rifle and the save.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, I think that's our rundown of the Empire of Japan, which is basically pretty aggressive. If you love samurais and Japanese lore and such, which is a phenomenal culture to get behind. If you like dictating the pace of the game, forcing your opponent to make bad decisions and winning fights you technically shouldn't, and Japan delivers. But just remember, hesitation is defeat. So before we jump into our final section with Sean, I'll just very quickly go over the events calendar. So starting in March, we've got Tistamini's Bolt Action Tournament, which is a Sober Circuit event. The same weekend is Hot, so we're going to have to figure out how we're going, where, what, when, to Hot Lead and Tistamini.
And sorry, Hot Lead registration opens on the 1st of February.
1st of February, right? We've got to make sure we get in there.
Yeah.
Then we've got events in April. We've got Brawl in the Hall, the 700-point Recce Force. That's with Deweycat, who know him for his 3D prints. That's in Kingston. That's a premier event, so you'll get bonus points. Case Yellow, April 25th, Sober Circuit event, which also wraps up the Escalation League. Canadian Tabletop Championships, 23rd and 24th of May. So that's the Nationals premier event. You've got to get there. Currently, Tony Yu is the defending Canadian national champion. So we'll have to see what happens.
Tony Yu.
Come up. And then Holy Roller on June the 6th. So, hey, I mean, you can't have a D-Day themed tournament not on the 6th of June, right? So that is our calendar. So we are just waiting for the absent Sean to come back to his seat. Oh, there he is. Like a ninja. He's back.
He was there the whole time he was actually there. You just couldn't see him.
Well, actually, what we should have done is we should have filmed it where actually Sean appears behind me in the camera. Like, what?
There's nothing saying we can't do that.
Last year,
all right.
Over to you, sir.
Yeah, we are shooting this particular episode on December the 29th. So
cat's
we're
out
going
of the
to
bag
try...
now. We all changed shirts and
we shot the other one on December the 4th.
Oh, is that what we did? And it took me 4 weeks to get it out. Okay, I'll take the hit for this.
You were sick.
All right. What we're going to pick up doing here now is we're going to borrow something from there was a podcast called the D6 Generation for those who had culture and were into nerdy stuff 10 years ago. And they would do yearly predictions. And I was talking to one of the members of that last time I was at Adepticon, and he was like, they grow old and they're not doing it anymore. And it was the only thing they were doing for a few years, and now it looks like they've stopped doing that. So I think we should pick up the torch, as it were, And we should do the year-end predictions for the D6 generation or D6G fashion. So what we will do is each hoser is going to make a prediction, and the other hosers are going to say whether they agree or disagree with this prediction. Now, if everybody agrees, this is not a very good prediction. It's not dangerous enough. So the hoser is allowed to increase the Saber scored again. Nice. Is allowed to increase the difficulty of the prediction and to try and get some people to drop out. And then next year we gather. So everybody makes their prediction. We do a few rounds of that. And then next year we gather and we look at last year's predictions and we see how we did and we crown a winner. And we say, you are the winner for getting the most right, blah, blah, blah. And then we do the predictions again. So the point system that we're going to start with is, we'll try this out. So you make a prediction, and if you are correct, you get a point. And anybody who agreed with you would also get a point. If nobody agreed with you and you are correct, you get 2 points for making such a bold prediction and succeeding. Now, if you make a prediction and are incorrect, you get -1 points. Anybody who disagreed with you would get a point. So that's how it's going to go. I've seen this in action. It works fairly well. And examples of, so the only restriction we're making on the predictions we can make is they should be nerdy. So, we can't predict, who would be the next prime minister, or if there's going to be an election next year, or anything like that. It'll be something to do with the Nerdville. So I will write down round 1. And I will start us out as soon as I see what the call on the ice is. Is this goal allowed? We'll get back to that. It's not going anywhere. All right. So
Anybody watching this already knows.
Sean Squirrel.
That's right.
Murray.
Anybody knows if Buffalo beat one of the worst teams in the league tonight. But they're playing good now, so come on. All right. So I'm going to start this off with my round 1 prediction. Sean's round 1 prediction is, Sean, there will be, so last year at the CTC, there were 3 Italian armies. This year, there's a new book coming out, like any day, just before the CTC. It's coming out in the second, second quarter, so it may not be out yet. It may not be out.
Should be April.
April. Okay, so it should be out in time for CTC. So I'm saying there will be more Italian armies at CTC this year than there were last year. That's what I'm saying. So now we go to each of you, and you decide if you agree or disagree with.
He's saying this without the Book of Minor Nations being out.
It's not the Book of Minor Nations; it's the Book of Italy.
The Book of Italy.
Italy's book. Oh, that's a tough one, because I want to say yes.
Because it'll be a fresh book, and everybody likes new armies.
Yeah, but the Japanese book comes out, and it's pretty awesome.
Yes, it is pretty awesome.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no to Sean.
More Italian and less.
Because of the Japanese book. I think the people will have gone with Japs.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Craig, but I'm going to increase the difficulty by upping you and saying, in honor of this episode, there'll be more Japanese than Italians.
Okay, so that can be your prediction on your round, but that doesn't affect my prediction.
Okay, then you're wrong.
Had you guys all agreed with me, I would have had to have made mine more. So, all right, you're saying no.
Wrong,
I'm saying there's going to be 4+ Italian armies at the CTC this year.
Yeah, no.
You brought an Italian
Agree
last
or
year, didn't you? Sean, didn't you bring Italians last time?
Yes, and there's a good chance I'm bringing them this time.
Well, you have to now.
Oh, so it's gonna. So there only needs to be 3 more.
Evan, do you agree or disagree?
I say no. It's going to be 3 or less.
All right. Okay. Let's go to Who wants to pick next? Evan, you ready?
I'll put one up.
Yeah.
So
Evan's next on the little podcast screen here. So
I say that there's going to be some form of an expansion for Conflict 47. Not so much
Define
like
expansion.
not so much like a not necessarily a campaign book or anything like that, but there's going to be more stuff
a
built
progressing
out
of the
on it.
story.
Yes, with other things coming in for the army. So, for example, Japanese Commonwealth getting special characters. The Japanese, I think there's some my spider senses tingles that Type 7 Walker. There's a lot more possibility they can do that. And you got me thinking about it earlier, Derek, when you were mentioning the tank from the book. Because when I used to have a Japanese army, I think it's the Chi-Hai, there were 11 different types of tank built on the same chassis by the Japanese.
Okay, so are you saying this expansion affects all factions or just some?
It's going to affect, I suspect it's going to affect all of them, but I think the Japanese and the Commonwealth are going to be expanded the most.
Okay, you don't have to put in that extra bit, but I will write it down. Expansion for all K-47 armies.
Craig's internet
like,
has gone mental again.
Craig's speaking Commonwealth
Craig's
again.
going to say, I agree with Evan.
Okay, but let's get this last bit. You said Japanese and who?
Commonwealth are going to get, because they don't have special characters at the moment.
We'll get
But
the
what's
most.
the specific thing? What's the specific
So he's
thing
saying
you say?
all armies are going to get expansions this coming year, but the Japanese and the Commonwealth will get the most expansions.
Yes.
I disagree.
It's my turn to go first, so I'm going to disagree before you do, but now you can decide if you will disagree.
Yeah.
And you disagree?
I disagree as well.
I disagree.
Okay,
And
so
I
if you
disagree
are
with
correct,
no knowledge of
or
anything.
double point.
And I only have some knowledge, but I don't know all.
I think it's too ambitious. I think it's too ambitious.
I think
for a
it's
small
too
company.
ambitious.
It's a year.
Okay. Well, Derek, why don't you show us how ambitious he should be? Hey, that game was called back. Goal was called back. Derek, why don't you tell us how ambitious we should be by telling us your first prediction for round one?
I'm gonna go total nerd outside of gaming. Amazon Prime will not screw up the new release of Stargate like they did the Wheel of Time and the Lord of the Rings, or the Rings one that I refuse to fucking watch.
Okay. We have to have a metric on how to decide if they've screwed up.
We all have to say it sucks or doesn't suck.
So the
Okay.
honor system. That's
Can we all agree that Wheel of Time was stupid in comparison
the
to
first
the books?
season was stupid. First
It
season was
sucks.
stupid.
Well, I didn't
I
even get
stopped
through
reading
3
the book.
episodes. Yeah.
Oh,
And the Rings, they messed that up too. Can we agree to that?
kind
Yeah.
of did, yeah.
Okay, they're not going to do that with Stargate.
How are you going to measure it though? Because
We're
The
just
Wheel
going to
of
say we're
Time-
going to know.
Yeah,
We're just
gonna
going to
know.
say we're going to know.
And we'll be honest. It's an
Okay,
honest system.
Honest system.
Rotten
it's
Tomatoes
not
gives Wheel of
totally
Time
measurable,
88%, which I don't know how they get to.
Because
The power.
most of the people that watched it never read the books.
Valid. Yeah.
Okay, Evan, do you agree or disagree? Oh, yeah.
I agree.
That they will
Agreed.
screw it up.
They won't. They won't screw
They
up
won't.
Stargate.
They won't screw
They
up
won't,
Stargate.
they won't screw up
He's saying
Stargate.
Stargate is going to be an
Awesome.
undeniable success. You will
Yes.
not be able to say that was wrong. You're
Correct.
going to say that was
Yeah.
great.
Anybody who's
going
watched
to
Stargate in the past
disagree.
is going to say, yes, this is a good one.
Correct.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say they're going to screw it up because they've screwed everything else up.
Power positive thing.
Like Halo. Halo was a disaster.
Oh, that's another one I could have listed too. Shit, you're making me double guess this too. No, I'm going to be remain positive.
Remain positive because they got rid of the person who was holding it back, as well as some of the script writers from the original Stargate are going to be involved in it. So I think it's going to be balls to the wall. It's going to be awesome.
I disagree. Craig.
All right, Sean, we're back to you for prediction number 2.
No, Craig has to
But
agree or
Craig-
disagree.
Oh, Craig hasn't done his prediction. That's right.
Craig,
But no,
Craig
first
also,
I didn't get down whether you agreed or disagreed with Evan.
I disagree. I think Amazon Prime is going to balls it up big time.
All right,
I
now
don't
we
think-
are to
I don't think that they've got the people that are invested in making sure it's a success as like the Fallout team is, right?
Well, my
Yep.
hope is
And the Last
because
of Us
there's no material to fall back on, like a bunch of books, that they can
Yeah.
screw it up. Anyways,
Well,
all right.
obvious,
what's your
but I
next? What's your
disagree. I think they'll balls-
prediction? What's your prediction, Craig?
So he's easier and then ramp up to insane. But my level 1 is I think that there will be a new Star Wars tabletop game 26
Tabletop with minis.
with minis.
I think everybody's on the
Interesting.
internet at your place again, Craig. You're
Yeah,
talking Commonwealth again.
So he says new tabletop game with minis for Star Wars.
Oh,
Yes. I just there's loads of really cool video games coming out for Star Wars and there's films coming out for Star Wars and I'm just like there's something coming that we don't know yet.
So are you saying announced or released?
Ooh, that's very good. You know what? Announced would be easy, so I'm going to go with released.
Okay.
I
Derek.
disagree.
Derek.
if you went with announced, I would probably lean into yes. But you don't believe in Amazon Prime not fucking up Stargate, so I'm going to say no. I disagree.
Evan disagrees. I will.
You're
So
fighting your desire with your intellect right now.
I feel like they would have had to have announced it by now, but they could announce it at any moment. They'd have to announce it in the next 3 months.
It'd have
Like
to be a
if
quarter
they're
one
going to
announcement
announce,
for
they're going to announce it
quarter
at
4.
Gen Con or LVO, right?
Yeah, they're going to wait. So you're good.
And then it'll still be a year out. I'm going to disagree and say there's nothing coming out this year. Well, next year, which is this year.
2026.
But so the caveat is it has to be new. So
Yeah.
new, like not an expansion on the existing something.
That's right, a new game.
Yeah.
But it's
It's going to
totally
be
possible.
Ewok gladiatorial game is what it's going to be.
It could be,
Ewok
yeah, that's right. It could be
Hey,
something just shows up.
Craig's in the back room right now drawing up the room just so he can make the announcement. I have an Ewok gladiatorial arena game.
All right. Let's go on to round 2. I'll quickly make the next table. All right, round 2. Here we go. All right. Still 2-1. Okay, so this is a movie prediction. I say The Mandalorian and Grogu will have a lower rating on IMDb than Ahsoka. Ahsoka had a rating of 7.4. The Acolyte was 4.3. Mandalorian and Grogu is the big movie coming out this year. It's going to have a lower rating on IMDb than Ahsoka.
So you think it's going to be 7 or less than 7?
Less
Okay.
than 7.4.
No, Ahsoka's 6.4 currently on IMDb as of the 29th of December.
6.4.
IMDb, I showed 7.4 when I made this list.
Okay, so go with 7.4.
I can take seconds. Well, think about it.
Okay, but you were first, so we'll skip you. Derek, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. There's too many kids out there that just love Grogu.
Evan, do you agree or disagree?
Is disagreeing saying that Mandalorian and Grogu are going to be higher?
Yes,
Yes.
you're saying
I-
they're going to be 7.4 or better.
Yes, or better. Yeah,
He disagrees. Okay.
whichever one that is.
Excuse me.
Okay. Gotta wait for Craig to come back.
How many of these are we doing? I've got
Three.
a potential 3 more. Oh, 3? Okay, then I won't do that one.
We're gonna do one more. We're gonna
One
do
more?
one more.
Okay, then I'm doing this one.
There's this one and one more.
Did you pause the recording, or was it just like randomly you and me and 2 chairs?
Yeah. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back.
Craig, do you agree
Hold
or
on,
disagree?
we're back from our potty breaks.
Craig, do you agree or disagree? The Mandalorian will score 7.4, less than 7.4 on IMDb at the end of the year when we do this podcast.
That's
Next year.
really tough. That's really tough because who's directing it? Do we know? Is it Dave Filoni?
It's already shot.
Jon
They're just putting it
Favreau?
together. Let's see here. I can get that answer for you. Let's. Evan already has
If Jon
it up.
Favreau's involved,
Yeah,
it might be
John
alright.
John Favreau was the director.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay,
I think
it's a
we'll be
2-pointer for
higher
me.
than 7 or higher than 6.4.
You're saying 7.4 or higher, so it can tie. Is okay.
7.4 or higher. It will be 7.5 or maybe, but I think it will be I disagree.
Because John Favreau directed it and he also co-wrote it.
Yeah, he wrote Ahsoka
Yeah.
too. All right,
Yeah.
Craig, your pick.
Oh, my turn to my next one. Okay. Ooh, I'm trying to think how I frame this. 2 of the dice hosers will win a bolt action tournament in 2026.
Major
First
or minor?
place?
Major or minor, any.
I agree.
First place?
First place. That's
First
the winner.
place.
First
Or,
place.
or
2 first
Two different
places.
Not-
dice hosers.
yeah, not
Yeah.
not faction first, overall first.
Overall
How many of
first.
us won first place last year?
How many separate ones?
None of us.
No, we won.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, technically, you and I won. That would be 2.
Exactly.
So-
Mm-mm. No,
No, team still counts as one.
Still
that
counts
still
as one.
counts as one.
Well, I tell you what. Let's say it's 2, but let's say 3 of us will win.
Okay, so that covers doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
3 of us will take first place in bolt action tournament.
Bolt action? Can we put conflict in that too?
Yeah, we could put conflict. Bolt action
Yeah.
stroke conflict. 7.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. I'll say yeah. I can see that. We got Sean.
Okay. Derek agrees. Evan, do you agree?
I agree. Sean,
So if I-
represent with your Italians.
I'm not going to win. If I was to agree, then you would have to make it harder. You would have to say 4 or more or something like that.
Oh,
But-
right. Okay.
But
Do it, because then Matt's got to win, and you know he won't. Yes, Matt,
No.
I'm throwing you under
No.
the bus.
no, there's no 3 of us. So it's he's already said 3. No, there's no way 3 of us. Yeah. No, not going to happen. I disagree. Not going to
Right.
happen.
I'm running 3
All right.
tournaments
'Cause-
next week.
Because Craig and Sean are pretty much a guarantee that they'll win one. And then you're looking at Evan and I to hopefully get one, because we know Matt is more a painter than a player. And that's only because his dice tell him he's more of a painter than a player.
Yeah,
I've never
but
met a guy with
come-
such bad dice. I'm sorry. I've won against Matt more times than I can count. And I don't mean that in a mean way, because every time I've won, his dice have been absolutely horrific. And that guy has just got juju luck.
But but Conflict 47 is the Wild West. Anybody could win that.
Yeah, that's
For
true.
the first.
And he is playing a Commonwealth gun army, and he likes that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
But I
well,
still
there you go.
yeah.
I know. All right, Derek, what do you got?
For our next one, okay, this is my last one. This is tap off.
No, this isn't your last one. This is your second one.
This
we're
is my
doing
second
3.
one. Oh, we're doing 3. Okay, then I'm gonna save
Yeah,
that
3,
one.
yeah.
I'm gonna save that one. Do I want that one? Do I want to make a slap to GW? No. I think there's going to be a new.
No balls.
No, because it's guaranteed to happen.
No balls.
Okay, I'll tell you what it is after I do this one. Then. A high-profile sci-fi movie that is going to be near future is going to drop, and it's going to displace the space opera superhero flavor of movie we've been seeing so far, and it's going to be like a near future climate tech.
It's called Hail
thriller.
Mary. It comes out. Yeah.
Kind of like AI run grids go wrong, geoengineering blows up the planet type thing. But I think there's going to be like the end of the world near future thing is going to come, and it is going to blow out all the space opera and superhero movies that are coming out this year.
Okay, so we have to measure it, and we can easily do that if you pick Rotten
Box
Tomatoes or
office.
IMDb.
Box office dollars.
Box office dollars. Okay,
Because it's going to be a
so
movie.
a high-profile movie near future
Going to blow
will-
out anything
will
from
be the
space opera,
best
which is the
movie
Star
next
Wars. Yeah, well, in the sci-fi genre, it's going to be Star Wars and soap operas, space soap operas, and superhero movies.
will blow away all other sci-fi fantasy next year.
It'll be the
But I'm
number
just gonna say
one
beat.
grossing
I'm not
movie
gonna say
of
blow away.
2026.
Yeah, beat.
So we'll beat box office dollars.
Yeah.
This is all measurable. All other sci-fi fantasy movies next year.
Yeah, some kind of near future climate tech thriller.
Well, I put sci-fi,
Okay.
near future. And how do you define near future?
The next less than 100 years from now. Less than 50 years from now.
All right, 50.
50.
That is very near future. I agree.
Are you,
Evan,
when
you're
you,
up.
when
I
you
agree you're
say when you say sci-fi and fantasy, what are you classing things like?
I didn't say fantasy.
Sean,
So
I think Sean
I
said
said
Okay.
sci-fi superhero. So any of the Marvel movies that are coming out, any of the space opera like the Star Wars, Star Trek.
Okay, I disagree then.
I call
think
Star
Mar-
Wars fantasy myself.
Marvel's going to blow it out the water
No.
Oh yeah, you know there's a new Marvel movie coming next
Yep.
year, right?
Yeah.
on the
I know.
18th
So
of
it's going to
December.
do better than that. That would have been enough, but that's fine. So sci-fi superhero next year. This movie, this high-profile movie's coming out. That's going to be better than that Marvel movie,
Yes.
and it's going to be set within the next 50 years.
Yes.
And you don't know about any secret thing that's going to drop that we haven't seen trailers for.
Well, I don't watch trailers. You know that. That's a fact of life. I hate
So
trailers.
Hail Mary's coming out.
Hail Mary.
Have you read the book?
Awesome
You're right. Hail
book.
Mary is coming, but that's not 100 years. That's 100 years from now, not 50.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll-
I should have
we'll
said
let you-
100.
We'll let
Should
you
have said
change. You did
100.
originally say 100. I vote that you can go to 100, but
Is
that's
100
me.
If
near
you want
future?
to say that Project Hail
Okay.
Mary is going to beat out Marvel, the Dooms, I disagree.
I think it's going to be a near future movie, and you're right. Hail Mary is coming out, and
Are you saying it's going to beat Hail Mary?
no, I'm
No,
thinking
Hail Mary
is
might be
be
it.
the neo.
Oh, Hail
near
Mary
future.
qualifies if you say 100. Okay.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. I mean, The Martian was amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I've read both books, and this book
I
blew
read Hail
me
Mary.
more than The Martian. Well, The Martian held me in my seat, but this book was.
Okay, so you remember it. Am I right in remembering this is the one where they're both at a different planet trying to figure something else, and there's
Yeah.
like two. Like,
Yes.
There's the human and the weird guy, and then
Yeah.
the human at the end of the book ends up living on the
Oh,
aliens planet.
spoiler!
I
Spoiler!
don't care if you haven't read it now. Screw you. If you haven't read it now,
All right.
you're gonna watch
Okay.
the movie.
So, anyways, Evan, do you disagree or do you agree that this is going to beat Marvel?
I disagree. I think Marvel's going to beat it.
Oh, before I say that, are we setting this at 100 then, just in case Hail Mary gets in that
Yeah,
100?
yeah. 100.
Yes.
I would do it 100. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, and disagree. Sean is going to. This Marvel movie, I'm sorry to say, Derek, is going to blow it out of the water. So I'm going to disagree. Craig.
I'm going to have to disagree. Even if that Marvel movie is shit, it will still blow. It will still be the biggest movie of the year.
What's the Marvel
gonna-
movie that's coming out?
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Avengers Doomsday.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's
basically,
right.
they're
See, I don't
bringing
watch trailers.
back-
I don't guess matter. It's still gonna beat
They're
it.
bringing back all the classic Phase 1 and 2 heroes. Captain America, the guy who played Iron Man is back.
No.
Blah blah blah.
It's a different
Fantastic
guy.
Four. They've
No.
just. It's
They're bringing back the
Avengers
same characters, not the
Endgame
same actors. Not gonna
2.0.
happen.
No, but they're expanding it because, as Craig said, they're bringing back the original one. So it's like there's Cyclops, there's Gambit from X-Men,
No,
all of those.
not enough, guys. There's gonna be too much on the screen. Everybody's gonna be pissed off that their favorite character didn't get enough lines.
I'm still going to see it.
Hey,
It
I
does-
hope
Yeah.
Hail Mary beat, because Hail Mary was an amazing thing.
No,
Okay,
I'm gonna
Evan,
go with.
your
I'm gonna
second
go with
pick.
it.
It's a hark back to the first phase, and I think people will go for the nostalgia. And fingers crossed, they're going. Please be good.
You can save that for your pick. But Evan, this is your pick.
Okay. I say there's going to be some form of new faction or area to play for Hail Caesar. Not a new rule period, because I think they're pretty covered, but like a new, like expansions.
Hail Caesar 28 or Epic?
Sorry, not Hail Caesar, Epic expansion. I wrote Epic scale. For example, Hail Caesar.
Oh, Epic scale. A new
Epic.
faction or era. Faction.
I don't know how to
is-
define it. Race.
You have to say like a new, like a new game,
Is it
like not a
new
faction from one
era?
of their existing ones.
No, not a new era, but things that are done in the same time periods for Hail Caesar Epic scale, but new stuff.
So like they do the other Greek states, like when Hannibal's playing with
Correct. Or
for-
like the Indians or the Phoenicians, the Egyptians, whatever.
New epic Hail Caesar faction.
Okay, I agree. Craig, agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna, because there's the whole phalanx they haven't gotten into yet, and that was still a thing.
Yep.
And the Romans had.
I think that they're going to bring out a new era.
Yeah, you're probably right. They probably won't bother going back to Hail Caesar, but I think they should,
And
and that's why I'm
like,
agreeing.
and I don't. Yeah, I've seen the video footage of John talking about it in different Q&As and stuff, and there's definitely something coming for Epic, and and there may be stuff coming for Hail Caesar, because I know that's quite popular, but I have a feeling it's going to be something. I think instead they'll do War of the Roses or something like that. That's knights and
That
stuff.
would be awesome.
I think
I'd-
that. So I disagree.
Okay, Derek.
I disagree. I think if they had any other time on their hands, it's going to the current winner that they've got on their hands, Conflict 47. I don't think I think that stuff is going to back burner a little bit, and it's going to slow down. Everything else is going to slow down.
So they've already planned out their next 5 years. They know exactly what they're.
I know, but I think it's being adjusted.
All right.
It currently is their second best-selling product after Bolt Action.
Okay.
And it's something
All
that
right.
they can control the IP for.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-oh.
No, I mean Epic is their second best
Oh,
product
got it.
range. So, Conflict will supersede it, but at the moment it's Epic.
I accidentally closed out that page of notes where I wrote down my picks. All right. So my next pick will be
Dun, 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 dun. You guys keep moving your heads, and I have to keep adjusting the cameras. Fucking Jesus Christ. Oops, now Sean's in both Evan and Sean. Hey, I
right,
can
let's
put him
say-
behind you.
let's go. No. I wanted to no. So what happened was I had a scratch note written down here with 4 different things, and I closed it out and decided not to save it. So it's gone now.
Forever.
But I do have the examples I wrote up. So let's pick one of those. All right. I
Well,
think
isn't it? So who's done 2? I've done 2.
everybody's done 2.
Everyone done 2. Okay, cool.
This is the last round.
Last round.
This is the last round.
Right.
And I say that I'll go back to bolt action. And I will say that in Ottawa, because that's our Canadian Nationals, I say that let's say the Japanese. I say the Japanese they'll place, they'll show, they'll place. Top 2. Japanese will be in the top 2.
I'll agree.
I'll agree as well.
I'll agree as well.
They will be number 1.
I'll disagree with that.
Harder.
Who's playing them? If Tony's playing them, I agree.
We don't know who's playing them.
Yeah.
I still agree. I think that will take first place.
Okay, Craig agrees, saying Japanese are going to show up and dominate. Derek.
No, not first place.
There's too many wild cards, Derek says. There's too many good players who will be taking the Russians. And Evan, you said disagree?
I think they'll be in they'll represent, but I don't think they'll take number 1. So that's a disagree.
Okay, Craig, last pick.
All right, this is a doozy. I think that in 2026 we will learn that there is extraterrestrial life.
You mean we have it
Caveat.
already?
What do you define?
You don't.
Extraterrestrial life, intelligent or just like an amoeba under a rock?
Sentient, intelligent life.
Sentient.
Everything is leading up to it. The
I agree with
governments have
Craig.
started to announce that there's UFOs and all this stuff, and they just came out a couple of weeks ago and they said we've got footage of a UFO and we didn't. And this was the American Pentagon, and Steven Spielberg has a film called Disclosure Day coming out, which is all about what would the human race do if they learned that there was aliens. I think we're being prepped. In my crazy silver tinfoil hat, I think that aliens will.
Oh, he's talking binary again. He's got to be right. I agree with him.
I agree.
Wait. So how will we know? So how are we saying we know that there's life? Like, is it going to be every major newspaper or something like
Yes,
that?
I think it's going to be I agree with Craig. I think it would be a worldwide type of knowledge.
This is not
he's
your
walking
bet.
out of the White House after off and Trump.
No, Trump's taking his mask off.
Yeah, Trump's taking his mask off, and it is him. Sorry, my American
I think
viewers.
it will be officially.
Sorry.
I think it will be officially announced.
Officially announced by the government.
Yes.
All right. Do I have a tinfoil hat that I can put
By
on
our
Craig?
government?
I don't think it needs to be done.
By
I
a
think it's going to be
a G7 government.
G7 government. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom! I'm on the offensive now.
Okay, Derek, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. Powers that be don't
Evan.
want that shit known.
I agree. with Craig.
You're a wacko. I disagree. Okay, Derek, your pick.
Represent Craig. I, for one, remember, Craig and I salute our lizard overlords. Unlike the rest of you slave monkeys. Solent green as people.
I'm gonna go back to our roots, and I'm gonna say Tony Yu is going to be the reigning Soba champion to set a 2-year win streak and continue to be my nemesis.
That's a good bet. Tony, you will win Soba again. I want to hear what Craig says because I know he's got his eyes on that prize. But it's Evan's pick first. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. I don't think he's going to take it. He'll still be your nemesis, but I don't think he's going to take it.
All right, I agree. Craig.
Tony, if you're listening, represent, brother.
You can do
What do you
it,
mean?
Tony.
You just told him to fail. Represent
Yeah, you
what?
just said he wasn't going to do it. So
Exactly. I was just saying represent. Come on, take one for the team.
Prove me wrong.
As an impartial league commissioner type person, I say yes, I agree.
okay. So
It's
thanks
early
to
in,
Evan,
so
you
he
do
may
not
have a good
to,
score now, but you don't know what he's going to have at the end of the year. But I think he's going to do a 2-year reign.
He's got no score at the moment because he's
There you
not
go.
been any effects. But that doesn't stop him. He'll be back in November or it's January or something.
Yep.
Okay. So what was your GW pick you refused to do?
GW will raise their prices another 10%. People will bitch and pay as per.
I would
Well,
agree.
you'd be wrong because they only do 10% on certain things every time. They don't. They
Anything
alternate.
new, anything that they remake and re-release will be 10% higher, smaller packaging. People will complain and still continue to buy it because they're
They always
so
make different
invested.
models, right?
They're
That's
so
it.
invested in it that they can't get out.
They are raising the price on something this year because they always raise the price on something.
Yeah, everything they
Something else.
rebox, everything they remake, they do.
All right. Okay, correct. Evan, what is your last pick?
The Songs of Fire and Ice books. I'm predicting that the next one won't come out in 2026. And I really hope he doesn't die before it comes out.
Okay.
Because he announced it in 2016.
No.
In 2023, he said he
Come
was
out,
struggling
or-
with it.
Come out or announce that it's going to come out?
No,
In
Like,
the
well, we have a
print
release.
like available to buy and read, come out.
Yeah, it would have been announced already if that was going to happen. So I'm going to agree.
He's got another 12 months.
Yeah,
and
but they don't turn around there. And he's been working on it for over 15 years now. So, Craig,
And
do you agree or disagree? George Martin, still alive, owns a movie theater.
Is writing
He has a
100
TV show coming out this year called the
7 Kingdoms, 100
based
years
on
before the
the
7 Kingdoms.
Dunk and Egg series. He's got that coming out this year.
He's got
Doesn't
the
he
new
also have-
Arya Stark series coming out as well in May on
I don't think
HBO.
he's got enough time to write this stuff. I got to agree.
Oh, he's writing it all.
I agree.
He's constantly. All right, so we all agree with you, Evan. So you're going to have to do something or forfeit your round.
What happens if he dies? Is it a draw?
It'll be like the Wheel of Time.
No,
God, no.
because his book would not have come out. Well, unless somebody releases what he's written so far, because he has written something so far. So then you would win because a book would have come out. So
And
now,
Sanderson will ghost pen it just like he did with Wheel of Time's son, Jordan.
but we all agree, much like the last 15 years, that this year on the Song of Ice and Fire book, Dream of Spring. Are we even that far yet? No, Dream of Spring is book 7. What the heck is book 6?
It's nice to know
I
he's
don't-
got the titles at least.
So book 6 is not going to come out this year. We all agree with you that book 6 is not going to come out this year.
Winds of Winter
Winds of Winter, right? Yeah.
and A Dream of Spring is the next one after that.
So you
So,
gotta take it up a notch, Chef.
Yep, you have to, if you want to salvage this chance at a point, you have to crank it up a notch. You got to say,
He's not even going to announce it for next year.
yeah, you have to say he won't even announce it. That's your next step, I guess.
It's not going to come out before he dies.
Well, no, it's got to be this in the coming year. So it has to be something that doesn't happen by the end of the year.
An announcement at all. Like he isn't
Yeah.
even prepping it for next year. That's about the only thing you could do.
Yeah.
Yep. So you want to go with that? Song of Ice and Fire will not be announced.
But some cockamamie excuse will.
Yeah.
You like how I use cockamamie? Like, let's go back to the 50s, baby.
The seatbelts were optional.
So it's probably never coming out is the problem. But
We're all just going to continue to agree.
The problem is I really want to read it, and I don't know if I disagree, do I increase the chance? Like, am I just living the dream that maybe it'll come out?
I've never seen Sean so hopeful.
Dude, I've read the books like 3 times now.
Have you done the thing with the little post-it notes where every death occurs?
No, I don't need to.
Have you seen those the pile of books where there's someone did the post-it notes sticking out the corners? I'll send you the picture.
I got to season 6 of the TV show and I just stopped because it was getting so bad. I couldn't take it any longer. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to let you keep this pick. I'm going to bask in the glory of them announcing next January or December 29th that they have a release date for the book and it's gone to his editor. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Craig, do you want to agree or disagree that we will not get an announcement for the release of Winds of Winter?
Agree. We will not get one.
Derek?
I don't think there'll be any announcement whatsoever.
More likely he'll die than the book will come out. That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to disagree. We'll get this bet on the table for round 3. And with that, gentlemen, we have locked in 3 rounds of betting for the first inaugural Dice Hosers year-end predictions to be evaluated at this time next year.
And there may be a list for Matt for next year that are done off round, and we'll come back to it. Just so next year.
We could put it up as an article so everyone can reference it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And with that, we will say adieu.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you
Au
never say
revoir.
anything.
Thank you, everyone.
Bonne
All right.
nuit. Bonne notre.
That's it for our Konflikt 47 Empire Japan Army Review. Let us know how you're running your Japanese forces and the where war units you swear by.
All those words, but that's all right. That's
And
it for the
you've
yearly predictions.
And you've been
We
terrified
predict you will
off the
never
objective
watch another
recently.
podcast.
And as always, roll 6s, push forward, and we'll see you across the table.
See you later, guys.